of the alcohol. La 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 la. Just line 'em up and we will drink them all. La 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 la. Well, my mother always said, if you want to drink all day, you best start in the morning, son, 'cause that's the Irish way. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, and every other mother will agree. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, so order up around for you and me. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, and every mother must agree. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, so order up around for you and me, and you and me, and you and me. Let there be whiskey.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Nerds with Alcohol. I'm Chris.
No, I'm Russ.
And this is episode 430.
430 back in the virtual nerd basement. Welcome once again to a cool but balmy day here in the Detroit area.
It felt cold, a little cold today, but I'll tell you what. So I was in Toronto, well, outside of Toronto, in Mississauga over the weekend, where Friday night it was -10 Fahrenheit without the wind chill.
That's fucking crazy, man.
It was fucking cold. Hey, Tellison.
Hey.
So on Sunday when we came home, and it was like 20 degrees, and by the time we got home, it was 30 degrees. We were like, no coats on.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy, right?
Sunny. It was like, this feels great. Yeah, we knew it was you, Chris.
Hey, Chris. Yeah, it's fucking crazy, you know. Like I got up to let the dog out this morning, and like there was a little bit of meltiness. Some of the icicles were dripping water. You know, I got dripped on when I went over to check the mail and to get the fucking parking ticket off my car. It was weird. I was just walking. I was just out there in like my bathrobe and you know my sleepwear, but I was like, man, this isn't too bad today, you know. And I'm like, it's got to be like maybe max 28 degrees, you know. It was like it's been so unbelievably cold, and it hasn't been that it's not that it's been so unbelievably cold, because sub-freezing temperatures in Michigan at this time of year are not out of the ordinary. I think it's because it's been this for so long. We have had under freezing temperatures consistently.
Hey, Wings.
There
it's
she
the
is.
Wind that gets you.
It is. It has been under freezing temperatures, under 30 degrees, under 32 degrees, consistently, nonstop for like 3 weeks now, at least.
Yep. It's been even longer. I think it's been
probably more than a month.
I think it's been since New Year's. I mean, since before New Year's.
Probably.
I think we've been under freezing every day. Our highs have been under freezing for over a month.
There might have been a couple of days that have approached 32 or 30, like come close. But it's like, but you're right. It's been pretty. I think you're right. I think since about at least New Year's. So over a month now, we've had this, and it's wearing on us. On top of the fact that, you know, it's also really dark, and we have passed the solstice.
Well, you know what?
But
we did get a couple of warm days in January because we kind of had our January thaw, where we got into like mid-30s.
Yeah, we did. You're right, because there wasn't there a day or two. Didn't we like lose? Didn't we lose the snow? Didn't a lot of the snow? Didn't we get like
I think so,
rain
and then
or something?
Came back with a vengeance.
A vengeance, like 2 days later.
Now nothing compared. So Toronto and Mississauga on last Monday. So not this week, but the week before, while the Scotties was going on, they got like 15 to 18 inches of snow in one day. There were snow mounds that were like 15 feet high in the parking lot at the place.
Nuts.
And everything was still covered with snow because it was also fucking cold.
Yeah. I'm glad that we haven't had snowfall like that in a long time. You know, I can't remember the last time we got, you know, maybe more than Okay, you're right. More than 4 inches. in a night, you know. No, but it's been a long time since we've had a really, really heavy snowfall, you know. Um,
At least we don't have falling lizards.
warning that they have falling lizards, warning that they have in Florida.
Yeah, yeah. It's the
Falling
watch out.
lizards.
You got to watch if you're pretty much like south of Tampa, because Tampa doesn't get a lot of them, but it's
Oh,
anywhere
no, they
south
have,
where they have iguanas.
yeah.
If they get down near freezing, you have to watch out for falling iguanas because they will fall out of the trees.
Oh, yeah,
Because
yeah, they fall out of a tree. No, you're right. Yeah. And they do. They get Tampa has a little bit more of the like smaller lizards, you know,
yeah,
but they
but
get the big
they don't.
ones too.
Yeah, I was talking with the guys when I was down there because we were joking about it because it was getting down into like down to around 40 at night while I was down there in December, and
Hmm.
they were talking like, and I made a joke about that, and they're like, "Yeah, we don't have to worry about that so much here, but you go about an hour south,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's
Yeah, well, the lizards it gets so cold that they go into hibernation and then they fall out of the tree. Yeah, or they
yeah,
fall out of wherever they are.
yep,
Um, yeah, it's pretty funny. But yeah, and they do you do see iguanas sometimes or the bigger lizards in Tampa, but they're not as plentiful.
yeah,
You know, more often you see the little guys. You know, like you might pass by like a stone wall where they're all sunning themselves and you pass by and they all scurry away and you're like,
hmm.
oh shit, what was that? And
Well, it's like
um
Louisville has skinks. They're
sure.
all over the place there,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I didn't know it, and then all of a sudden one was in my garage, and it was like, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
it's a cute little lizard.
Yeah, it's just funny, like, you know, it's more of a salamander, aren't they? Or skinks? No, are they?
Well,
Are
I
they
think they might
amphibious?
actually be amphibians, but
I can't remember, yeah. But uh
nope, they're a reptile.
are they a reptile?
Yep.
But yeah, it is kind of funny how they we don't have really lizards much at all here. I mean, we got snakes, but that's
They are
different.
lizards that constitute the family blah blah blah, which is part of the info. I'm not getting into the science stuff.
Yeah. But yeah,
1,500 described species across 100 different taxonomic genera.
okay.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's one thing Michigan doesn't have to worry about so much is reptiles. We don't really have, not native, really, not much.
yeah. I know
Well,
salamanders
turtles, I
are.
think.
I actually that's one of the things. A few things I know about biology. Wings is that salamanders are amphibians. I just thought that skinks might be, but they're not.
Yeah.
They are actually lizards.
I mean, yeah, I think turtles are really the only
Oh
reptiles that are
no,
kind
Renee
of,
said no. We have snakes.
yeah, with snakes.
We
We have
have lots of
snakes.
snakes.
But
And
that's
Wing
separate.
said we have lots of reptiles.
I was kind of thinking them as a separate kind of thing. I mean, we don't have like too many four-legged reptiles that I can think of in Michigan. Like we have turtles. That counts. But that's the only thing I don't know. I mean, I don't really think we have any native like iguana type. I don't know. Somebody prove me wrong. If not, I don't know.
We have 11 turtle species, 19 snake species, and 2 lizard species.
We have two lizards. Okay, that's what I was looking for. Like a lizard, like a, you know, I like
The
turtles.
only venomous species is the eastern Mississauga rattlesnake.
Right. You
The
know.
lizards are the 5-lined skink and the 6-lined race runner.
So we do have skinks in parts of Michigan.
Yes.
Okay,
The most
cool.
common lizard in Michigan, known for its bright blue tail in juveniles.
Which is funny because I in my entire life I've never seen a or a lizard in the wild here in Michigan. Turtles, sure, but not like a
I
lizard.
like turtles.
We actually at festival one time we found a clutch of baby turtles. Like they're buried over by they were all coming out of the ground over by the joust field.
Mm.
And the girls that were selling glitter wands over there, over by the joust field, they found them, and so we had like a tub of like a dozen baby turtles that were all just like coming out of the ground, and of course they had glitter on them because these girls were like, "Oh, look, turtles!" and we got to save them from being stepped on because there was a big high traffic area, and I'm like,
So
I
they
was
spread the
like,
fairy herpes.
yeah, pretty much. And so we were all like, okay, let's move them over to the more swampy area. So we picked them up, we moved them over into the back part where the swamp is. But it was just like It was so fucking ridiculous. Like a bunch of turtles, with they weren't covered in glitter, but they had glitter on them because these girls were picking them
Hmm.
up, putting them. They're cute as hell. There's all these little baby, snapping turtles or whatever.
But yeah, so that
We
was
should meet.
most of my week was Renee and I went to the Scotties in Mississauga. Had a great time.
Hmm.
Saw some just amazing curling. Unfortunately, the team I was rooting for did not win. Um, Team Anderson won. They
Uh,
beat Team Laws. And Laws was the team I was rooting for at the end. But overall, though, just some great matches, some actual blowouts, which you don't tend to see in the finals, um, or in the playoffs. But yeah, just some great shots. Some shots that I actually heard one skip come down after she threw her shot, and it went in, but it worked, but it wasn't what she called. And she came down and was talking with her vice and was like, "How did that happen?" I actually heard them say that because we
hmm.
were only two rows off the ice, and so we could hear them talking and stuff. She was just like, "How did that happen?" Um, there was one where the team that won actually played really poorly on Saturday, um, and lost, and the skip was frustrated. Carrie Anderson, um, amazing curler, but and you can see she was just frustrated. And like at one point, she just skated off, and their coaches sit behind one of the ends, and she skated off, and you see her go off, and I actually heard her go, "Well," because they were just doing so bad. And then in the seventh end, they scored their second point, and she made a really nice shot, and she just did like this, yes, and like threw her fist up in the air like she just won something because she finally made a shot that
That's
worked.
funny.
Yeah, it was really funny. Um,
Cool.
it was good to see them having what looked like they were having a good time for the most part. A lot of the teams felt that way. There was one team that I think just didn't look like they were having fun. They were just serious all the time, which that's one thing. I mean, being serious is fine. I mean, you can be focused, but it's still just a game. Yes, you're playing to go to the worlds, but still, it's just a game. Um, but yeah, overall that was great. The trip out was fine. The trip back was great. It was wonderful weather. It was actually like really warm, like we were talking earlier. With the sun out, it was just beating. I almost cracked the window. I was so warm in my car. Um, but yeah, it was overall a really good trip. Found out that Popeye's restaurants in Canada have Cajun poutine on the menu.
Cajun poutine.
Yes. So it's basically their Cajun fries with gravy and cheese curds. It was fucking outstanding.
No, I'll bet.
It was really goddamn good. And it was really good to have real poutine. Here the gravy a lot of times is really rich, and I don't think it's as good here as it is in Canada. And CDI, I like Cajun poutine. Oh hey, Tellison, thanks for the subscription.
Hey, thanks, man.
But yeah, it was had poutine there, had poutine at the arena. It was just overall just very, very good. But yeah, had some good beers. Drank some Steam Whistle, so Steam Whistle's an interesting brewery. Uh, they make one beer. They make a Pilsner. That is the only beer the brewery makes.
Okay.
I'm like, how do you sell enough that of a single type of beer? I mean, it's beer flavored beer. It's a Pilsner. It's nothing special. It's just a straight up Pils, but it's a good Pils. And I guess they sell enough that they're a successful brewery out of Toronto with only making one beer. But it was kind of cool. They were one of the big sponsors of the Scotties. They had down in the what they call it the Patch, which is the they have a big area where they have a stage set up and they have bands play and stuff like that. And they have oh hey, good on you, CD. He just gifted a sub to Ojipo.
Hey.
No Travago for you. But they oh, he's that's because Ochipo said he's on ad 6. Jack Travago. Um, the I don't modify the I haven't modified the ad settings at all, so it's like the whatever the base settings are. I can move them down, and maybe I will. But the it was but anyway, that's where they have a couple of bars set up. They had Montana's, which is a big barbecue place in Canada, and then they had another spot that was doing like paninis and wraps and soup and things like that, which I heard was really good. I didn't actually eat anything there. I did try Montana's because I've been seeing them advertised while watching curling events for years, and it was all right. I had their brisket chili; it was pretty good. Cornbread was decent. But I mean, I don't eat that much anymore, so I didn't get like the ribs or anything like that. Yeah, sat down there, saw a band called Shania Twink
God.
on Saturday night or on Friday night. They were actually really good. I enjoyed them quite a bit. They're an all queer female band that does a lot of like they're a cover band. They do a lot of songs that are like femme anthems and things like that. And one of my favorites was they did Shania Twain's That Don't Impress Me Much. And they changed the lyrics. So like in Shania's, it's like, so you're Brad Pitt, things like that. In theirs, the first one was, so you're the Skip. And I'm like, that's playing to your crowd.
Yeah.
And then one of the other ones was, so you're Jennifer Jones. Which is she's one of the greatest female curlers in Canadian history.
Okay.
She's super talented. She just retired actually last year from the Scotties. But I just thought it was really good. They were really talented. The band on Saturday night was pretty good too. I mean, overall they had good music. They were local bands, mostly cover stuff, but overall just a lot of fun. Had a great time. There were probably 15 people from the Detroit Curling Club there, at least. But yeah, overall great week. Had a lot of fun. Then last night I was over at our friend Paulie's, he's the lead singer of Stone Clover. Does the song that we use for our opening and closing. Yep. Was over at his house playing Magic. Had a great time there. Really good group of guys. Lots of fun.
Cool.
Several of them have been, a few of them have been on our show.
Yeah. Paulie's been on the show. Stefan's been on the show.
Yeah, Stefan's been on our show. But yeah, overall, great time there. And then yeah. So how about you? How was your week?
Well, like I said, it's kind of more the same with me on my break of work. But I did a little performing this weekend, or this on, was it Friday? No, Saturday. So all day Saturday, I was at Canterbury Village. They had a Wicked themed dinner. So
Wicked,
they
dude.
had not that wrong Wicked. Friday night I actually
Are you saying it wasn't Wicked?
It was totally wicked. Wicked.
It was a wicked,
or like they say it.
It was like a wicked themed.
Like the way they say in Boston. Yeah, it was, it was. How do they say it? It was wicked, yo. Wicked. I'm trying to do it in the Boston accent. It was wicked, yo. Wicked. The Boston accent. It's one of those weird ones I can do it, but I gotta hear it first. Boston.
Park the car.
Park the car. Yeah, I gotta hear it. I gotta hear it before I can, do it regularly. I actually watched Friday night. Stella and I rented on Amazon Prime the second part of the Wicked movie, Wicked Part 2 for good, and it was good. It was good. I mean, there's no question that these movies are solid. I do think that the first part was better. It was just this was a lot like darker and harder, but
Well, it's the
it's essentially just
it's the dark part of the
is the
story.
dark part of the story, right?
Yeah.
It's essentially just a very long. It's a 4 hour movie. It's just a 4 hour
Hmm.
movie that they broke up into two parts, and I do wonderful performances across the board. That it's a beautiful movie. That like the just the visuals are stunning. Um, it felt very rushed. Everything felt very rushed. It felt like it happened all in a week when it really is supposed to take place over like a period of like a year, 18 months, or even maybe even supposed to be longer. I'm not sure. But it just it all seemed very rushed. At one point they do integrate the Wizard of Oz characters, and you see like trying to integrate Wizard of Oz, the story of the that happens in the Wizard of Oz with Wicked, whereas it just felt to me that if you look at the original story, like the Wicked Witch had been terrorizing um them for a long time, and all of a sudden this girl from Kansas appears to say as a savior. You when you watch Wicked, you really have to kind of divorce yourself from the idea from the Wizard of Oz and Wicked being the same thing. They're definitely a reimagining, and they're definitely different takes on it.
So
But it was cool because it shows like the power of
it's
uh
it's
what?
supposed to take place over 3 to 5 years.
Oh, 3 to 5 years. Okay. Well, it just it I don't know. And then it 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 shows the power of propaganda. It shows the power of or like how what happens when good people decide to like sell out or buy in, basically, which is what kind of happens to Glinda, and then she kind of redeems herself in the end. So it was good. But I watched it largely because I would be doing the makeup and playing the Tin Man at this Wicked event the next day. Um, and so I did makeup for the Lion, the Tin Man, the Witch, the Scarecrow, and it was fun. We did two shows, basically, or two. There was a luncheon and then a dinner, and basically it was just crowd work, walking around in character and doing. We did a couple little skit at the beginning and then a little skit at the end, and tried to and kind of a little bit throughout, as the meal was, and then oh, it's dessert, and the queen and the witch was, Glinda was like, well, because Elphaba comes in looking for her broom and wanting revenge against this little girl that took her broom, um and Glinda's like, well, you can't have your revenge without your just desserts, and then we bring to the desserts, and and at one point I spoke up, just kind of a improv. It's like, yeah, I believe didn't I've heard of revenge is a dish best served cold. What didn't we, and so it was just like silly shit, and but it was fun. It was cute. Everybody left smiling. Everybody had a good time. I got the opportunity to kind of play the Tin Man kind of a little more goofy the first time.
I accidentally hit the
Okay,
Sorry,
are we
guys.
all right?
Yeah, I actually hit a button and it went to our end, like it ended the show. It
Oh,
didn't actually.
jeez.
It didn't stop the streaming or recording. It just went to our end screen.
Oh,
I
okay.
accidentally hit something.
Revenge is ice cream, a dish best served cold. Exactly. But it was
We got hacked. No, it was just me making a mistake.
um well, thanks, CD. Yeah, I mean, I think I could definitely play the Scarecrow. I had fun playing
The one without a brain. Yeah, I can
the
see
I
that.
am. If I only had a brain. I that song
Oh,
is one of those earworms that comes into my brain a lot.
I forgot to say
Um,
earlier. You know, happy birthday,
well, thank you. I
brother.
was getting to that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yesterday was my
But
birthday.
yes, yesterday was your birthday.
But
So
but anyways,
everybody
it was a lot
ready?
of
Sing happy birthday to
no,
Russ.
don't sing happy birthday. Um, it was, but like I said, the event was fun. It was cute. It was. I could definitely play the Scarecrow pretty easily, and the And the Tin Man. I think the Lion is better played by a larger man, but
Put him
but
up. Put
I
him
could do that
up.
too. You know, a lot of it is in the costume and in the makeup anyway.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. Like I said, it was just a lot of fun. I am supposed to possibly, they put me in the chat to play the Beast at a prince and princess luncheon. So they want me to kind of create like kind of tweak my Oliver makeup and costume to look like the Beast, which would be easy. But it's on the 20.
Easy-ish, but you got to get like a big thing for your back and make yourself all
Well,
big
it's
and
a
burly.
kind of.
I mean, you would
I
have
can
to wear
tweak
your
it.
boots for sure, but
Oh yeah, no, that's the idea. The boots and horns, and I gotta actually look into printing maybe a new set of like more bull-like horns because like I
Mhm.
when I designed Oliver, I designed him actually with the Beast kind of as a template, the Disney Beast, and then uh but so it would be I wouldn't want to make different teeth and stuff. But the thing is it's on the 21st, which is the last day of Dirty Show. So it
Mm.
depends on how late that goes. I might have to bow out. So, but yeah, and then Sunday chilled, and then Monday was my birthday, and I turned 52. So I am now the same number as the number of multiverses in the DC universe, which is not actually the case anymore. But it was um, it was a quiet birthday. I played video games and chilled, and we watched some TV, and I watched Sinners, which was excellent. Well, 52
Chris's.
shit, that's old, dude. Thank you, Chris. Chris is older than I am, so fuck off.
CD said better than 67.
Um, sure. CD is not 67.
No.
But yeah, so you're right. It is better than 67. I'll tell you though, I don't know if it's this weather or the
Six,
temperatures.
seven.
Oh God, 6, 7, 6, 7. So stupid.
It
Um,
is, but you know what? Chicken
I'll
butt.
stand by it, dude. At
Uh,
least, at least most of our slang, the slang and the stuff that we used to say and do as kids, as teenagers, was a lot more explainable. 6, 7, this whole 6, 7 thing, they can't even the kids can't properly define it. When people would say like, "Yeah, man, it's bad. It's totally bad. Bad meaning good." It's just a changing the meaning of a certain word. Ah,
yeah.
that's cool, or that's hot, or or that's badass, or bitchin', or ballin', or baller, or whatever. Or
Or wicked.
it's da bomb or wicked. All those
That
kinds of
came a little
things.
later, but still.
Yeah, it's all pretty well defined. You can look, you go, oh, okay, that's what that means. Even the kids can't even fully truly define what 6, 7 really means. They just look at each other and they go 6, 7 and they giggle because it's a I think they're laughing or they're entertained by the fact that none of us get it. And it's kind of silly.
Yeah, but they don't
Yeah,
like it
South
when we
Park.
say it back to them.
You're right. The CD South Park did an entire episode about
Yep.
it,
They
and
did multiple episodes because they it actually carried over to another episode.
did it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, because Cartman still had the whole 6, 7 problem.
All
69,
right.
dude.
69, dude. So anyway, but it was a quiet birthday. I got a lot of love on Facebook, which is really nice. It is kind of funny though. Like I looked at like the number of people that have chimed in, and it was like right around like a little over 300, I think, happy birthdays or whatever, and belated birthdays today. And which is roughly about 10% of my friends on Facebook. I think I have like about 3,000 people on my Facebook, which is absolutely ridiculous
I was saying, and
because
and you are good friends with every single one of them, right?
right, exactly. No, I mean, for the longest time, I was able to say that the majority of the people on my Facebook were people that I had met in person. And that is still the case. The majority of them are people
Every
that I
single
had met in
person that is
person,
on my Facebook is somebody
people.
I've met in person.
Right. I have, so there are a few people on Facebook that on my friends list that are either semi-celebrities that I'm following, that I got their page, their personal page or whatever, or there have been a few people that I think that I followed, that I friended back because they friended me because they were like appreciative of my work or something like that, or they're an artist or a model that I want to work with. But that's a very, very small amount. The vast majority are people that I have met, at least for the longest time. Now it's a little less so, but it's still that. And but it is something to be said that only about 10% of the people that chimed in are probably those 10% of those people that honestly do give a shit about me or honestly know me well enough. And it was kind of funny. But
I still think that many birthday wishes is more friends than I have on Facebook.
you think you don't have 300 people on your
I don't think
Facebook
so,
friends
dude.
list?
I've been really picky about friends on Facebook. If I don't know, if I haven't met the person if I haven't met them in person, um I don't friend them. Um,
Um,
and most of them are
yeah.
people that I actually know pretty well. A couple are more acquaintances, um, but most of them are not.
What I do appreciate though too is when people send me a happy birthday
Doesn't
and
say how
they
many.
don't I appreciate when people send me a happy birthday and they don't just copy paste what is on, the Facebook, statement.
Oh,
Because
I
you
have
can go on.
194 friends.
Okay, there you go. Because you can wish somebody happy birthday on Facebook and it just says, happy birthday, or it says it's got some pat kind of thing that you can put in. I appreciate it when people actually write my name or write something
Oh,
specific or personal
thanks,
as
Wings.
opposed to just happy birthday. And it's just a much better kind of sentiment, I think. But I try and at least thank everybody for you send them a thanks or a thank you or whatever, because I do appreciate it. I do
Really,
appreciate
cheapo?
it.
If you sent me a friend request, I didn't know it.
Probably got lost in it. I know I've got a lot of requests that I have never answered or didn't answer yet. I should get around to.
Yeah, Renee actually put on there that I have 194 friends, and we've probably got like 170 friends in common. Um, having been together for so long, our 10-year anniversary is in 3 weeks.
Wow. Holy shit. 10 years. And
So
she hasn't killed you yet.
nope.
Look at that. It's a very slow acting poison. It's called alcohol. It's called
Yeah.
alcohol.
Um. So speaking of that, what are you drinking?
Tonight I am drinking a Blake's Hard Cider Big Jam. This is their 8%. It is a variation on the Triple Jams. It is part of the Triple Jam series, which there are three types of Triple Jam. There is the regular Triple Jam. There is like a Triple Jam Light, and then there is this one. Unless they put out a new one. So anyway, yeah, this is just their strawberry, blackberry, raspberry cider. It's one of my favorite ciders. It is a little bit higher in alcohol content. I haven't had much to eat today, so I'm already a little dizzy. Um, but this is a fantastic cider. We've embarked on a flavor odyssey and turbocharged our iconic Triple Jam, rocketing it to a thrilling 8% ABV. This fusion of strawberries, blackberries, and raspberries create a taste sensation that's simply stellar. Ready for liftoff? Enjoy responsibly. It's good stuff.
Cool.
hmm
Yeah, that's one. It's not one of my favorites, but it's
I
not bad.
I don't think the extra alcohol really the extra 2% or two and a half
Yeah.
percent or whatever it is really make that much difference in taste.
Yeah. Of their higher ABV ciders, the American Berry is my favorite by far. The blueberry one. That I think is is I think that's one of the best. So I am drinking this right here. This amber liquid. This it smells. You get a lot of caramel. At least that's what I get. Yeah, a lot of caramel on the nose. What this is unfortunately this is not something that you guys can get. This is my Dragon's Milk Origins Cerise Barrel special limited edition, only available to those in the Dragon's Keep Club. It is why? It's holy shit. Sorry, it's written really small. So give me 1 second to get the proof. I didn't realize it was. I thought it was a 100 proof, but it's not. But yeah, it is. Oh yeah, so it's 61 point. Excuse me, 61.75% ABV. So it's 123.5 proof.
Okay.
Which would explain why when I first took a sip of it, the first time I had it, I went, that's kind of hot. It's a little hot on the tongue, and that would be why. Because it is way higher than what I'm used to drinking. I'm gonna take another little sip here. So this has been sitting in a glass with a large ice cube for a while, so there's some melt in there. So there's some water mixed in. Trying to get the flavors. It's good. I will say that it definitely, I think, needs that water, to kind of cool it some. Drinking it was too hot for me. So the Cerise barrel is actually like a cherry barrel. Every legend has its origin, and this one was crafted especially for you. This unique expression was chosen with intention and finished in a cerise liqueur cask to create something truly extraordinary. Layered with notes of cherry preserve, orange zest, and buttery pastry, it's a bold yet refined expression of our high malt bourbon character. Exclusively bottled for the founding members of Dragon's Keep, this release marks the beginning of a new tradition, one reserved for those who seek the rare and the remarkable. Welcome to the Keep. Here be dragons. Yeah, so this actually is for the founding members because this is the very first one that they've put out. So if anyone joins after this, they won't get this one. But yeah, it's it actually is. I'm not getting all of those flavors. Like I'm really not getting a lot of cherry. There is some on the tongue afterwards. I don't get the buttery pastry, but maybe it's just that I haven't gotten a refined palate to identify those flavors in bourbon. I can identify flavors in beers and meads and ciders, but I and even a little bit in wine, but I can't really identify a lot of the subtle flavors in bourbon. And I think part of it is just that it's just the way that bourbon reacts with me. Thanks, Wings. This sounds like you need to drink more bourbon for practice. It is good though. At least with some water on ice. I'm actually really enjoying this right now. Good job, guys. Thank you for putting something out special for the Dragon's Keep. The next thing for the Dragon's Keep will be a beer.
Supports your hobbies.
What's that?
She supports your hobbies.
Yes. She's like, hey, I support her gin addiction. When she started a spreadsheet for her gin, I was like, go for it.
A spreadsheet?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Now we have a spreadsheet
You know what?
for
I'm not surprised. This is not
now.
surprised. This is my non-surprised face.
Well, then you'd probably also not be surprised that we actually spent an afternoon going through our entire liquor collection and adding it to the spreadsheet. So now we have a
Jeez.
tab for gin, a tab for bourbon, a tab for whiskey, a tab for vodka, a tab, we have different, and we have a tab for liqueurs. Yeah, I love spreadsheets. Yeah, you do.
Spreadsheets. So Taliesin there, Chris I carry some good aged stuff in my flask at fair that Russ has had a few times. Some of the few times I've ever drank or at least like had a swig when I was working at Ren Fair, has been taking a pull from Chris Ottolini's flask when I was at festival, because he was the one that introduced me to Tully's,
Mm.
to Tullamore.
Tullamore.
He was the one.
I have a bottle of 15 years still sitting down on the bar downstairs.
Yeah,
that Renee
he
got
was
me
the
for
one.
my 50th birthday.
And because you know me, I've never really been a big drinker, and I've maybe become a little more in my older years. I've become a little more, which is the same as my parents actually, become a little more acquainted with alcohol and appreciate it a little bit more. And like I said, yeah, Chris was the one that introduced
Well,
me to Tully's when I was like in my early 20s. And he would come in here, I got some Tullamore Dew, and I'm like, oh yeah, sure. And take a little pull when I was when I was at the front gate, and then later on if I ran into him at Ren Fair. So you can blame I can blame and praise Chris Ottolini for my appreciation for Tullamore Dew.
yeah.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, well then you'll have to have a little bit of the Black Dragon when I open that. That's going to be to celebrate a big milestone for you guys. So I don't know when I'm going to open it yet.
Cool. Awesome. I'm down. I'm down for that for sure.
Might be 6th level. Because 6th level is another big bump for power for you guys. I mean, you get your
well, 4 is a big one.
4 is a big one. 5 is a big one. 6 though is a big bump for the character. It's like 3, you get your subclass. 6, you get your next big thing for your subclass.
Correct. So, listen, I did want to show you what Stella got me for my birthday. It's the only gift I got for my birthday, really.
Dude, you can't put that video up here.
Neither of us were feeling, she wasn't up for it. Let's just,
wasn't feeling real Randy.
No, it was not a good time of the lunar calendar, shall we say. But anyway, she got me
In there.
Lego kit here, and it is
the Balrog.
Gandalf fighting the Balrog. And I was like, that's, it's pretty fucking cool, huh? And the funny thing, and what it does is it folds up so you can actually put it like, it folds up so you can put it like on your bookshelf.
Oh,
so it's
nice.
like a book. It's like a book thing.
It's a bookshelf
Spacer, right, exactly. Yep. So I was like, oh, this is really cool.
Hey.
And it was funny because I had just was talking about the Balrog because a friend of mine had posted a video, this stupid AI video in our chat of Gandalf and Dumbledore fighting in like an MMA fight.
Oh.
And it's one of those things that's like, and we should probably discuss this at some point, about AI and about AI videos and AI art and the evils that they are and stuff like that. And how much it sucks because they do some really cool shit with it. Some people can make some really awesome videos. I can't tell you how many times I saw one yesterday where it was they had taken the Thundercats and what if Thundercats were a live action movie and took actors, the cartoon transformed into a recognizable actor playing a realistic looking Lion-O and a realistic looking, Chitara and stuff. And I was like, it's so fucking cool, but it's fucking evil. And AI steals. But anyway.
Sorry, real quick. CD, yeah, that would be a really popular hot tub channel provided Russ wasn't in it. If it was just Stella, I could see that
Nobody
being
wants
really
that.
popular. But
Nobody
nobody
wants
wants to
that.
see. Nobody wants Russ.
Nobody wants to see me in a hot tub. That's that's I don't know. I mean, I think I look all right for 52, but nobody wants to see that shit. So, anyway,
I look
a
pretty
friend of
good for
mine,
55, I think. So
yeah, not bad.
I don't
I think
normally get that.
we're aging like fine whiskey.
Yes, yeah. A lot of people don't realize that
Generate
I'm that
Gen
old.
X, yeah, Gen X. Me too. People are always surprised when I say how old. Uh, Gen X is aging very well.
Well, see,
We're aging very well.
you have the advantage of you don't have kids, so you didn't really just go gray. You've got a
Gray
little bit of gray,
immediately,
but
right? Yeah,
you still got the hair color because that's the kids.
it is. That's the
A
kids.
hot tub
That's the
with the
kids.
ladies of Nerds with Alcohol. That would way outproduce
That would
our
be better.
show. That
That
would
would be
way
better.
outproduce our show.
Yeah, it would be way better. Get Renee and Stella in boobalicious bikinis, and we're all set.
that would we could
That's printing money. Is what that is. That's printing money. CD
I'm
already
aging
subbed.
like a bottle of
Already
Zima.
subbed. Yeah. Bottle of Zima.
And CD said he already subbed, by the way. So CD said I already subbed.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. But anyways, a friend of mine had said, well, they like to pose these questions to me, like these nerdy questions. Russ, who would win in a fight, Russ? And they always start it this way. Russ, who would win in a fight, Russ? And then they usually put two like ridiculous things together and stuff. But sometimes it's more serious, and like, who'd win in a fight, the Hulk or Superman. And it's obviously Superman. But anyways, yeah, it was like Dumbledore and Gandalf. And I'm like, well, okay. So if you really think about it, Dumbledore had some very dramatic, very aggressive spell casting. Like, and it's very obvious, particularly in the fight between him and Voldemort. Like, very, very impressive creative stuff. Gandalf, on the other hand, is very subtle in his magic dealings. Like if you look in Lord of the Rings, he doesn't do a whole lot that's really, really like over the top. He's not throwing lightning bolts or fireballs and turning, shards of glass into sand. He's just he does things a lot more subtly. But then you also have to think about the physicality. Gandalf throws down against a fucking Balrog and essentially defeats him. Yeah, it costs him his life, and he has to essentially come back to life as Gandalf the White to do it. But
yeah, he just transformed. He evolved.
Transforms. He evolved. So essentially, and the fact that, in all honesty, the wizards in Lord of the Rings are actually an entirely separate race according to the lore. They're like essentially angels, I guess, more or less. I think that's how it was explained to me. So they are different. So I said, listen, for pure spell casting, I'd say Dumbledore would win, but for the physicality of it, it would be Gandalf, So anyways, I was talking to Stella and explained to her about the Balrog, and she was like, and then I just saw this and it was like, it's perfect for you. And I'm like, yep, this was a good one. Stella's actually a hell of a gift giver. She tends to pick out things. Fly, you fools. She tends to pick out things that are really like, pretty great. The funny thing is I still have four other Lego kits that I still haven't put together that I've been saving.
Do you have room to put? Dude, I've been in your house. You don't have room to put them up.
That's the other thing. I only have room to kind of display one at a time, so I kind of keep them up.
I'm not seeing enough space on those shelves back there to fit that in. When even folded down, you.
Nope. Nope. It's maybe up on the top there a little bit
in the corner.
Here in the
corner. You could move some of the stuff over towards the corner and.
But then you're risking it like going down in the corner there between. I don't know.
So one of the things, real quick, that we can talk about. One of the things I see back there on your shelf, that I heard a rumor that they're talking about rebooting it is The Greatest American Hero.
Yes. That is the DVD set.
I heard rumors that they are going to recreate that show.
I have as well. I heard something. There was a rumor of like his daughter. Like it's the character of Sam Hinckley's daughter, or not Ted Hinckley's daughter taking over. Like because of her genetics, she can actually utilize the suit, and so she finds because I remember it only
But she still
works
does. But the thing is that the whole funny part of it was that he gets this suit and he doesn't know how to use it.
right because
That
he
was the whole
loses
funny
the
part.
well he
Because he
loses
loses
the
the
instruction
instructions.
guide.
Yeah.
So the funny part would be her putting on the suit and then trying to learn how to use it with his guidance, even though he still was never probably able to fully get it right.
But the
Like
thing is, I
I
mean,
would
this would be
imagine,
years later. So, I mean, he would have had to have gotten at least somewhat better.
yeah, oh yeah. No, my guess is that he would have, like, if he continued to use it, he would have gotten at least somewhat better, like maybe a little bit better with the flying, because he did by the end of the series, he was better at the flying, not as well, not as good at the landing. But yeah, he wasn't like oh, the whole time, but he would be like, right, Um, he still never got good at landing, I think, if I remember correctly. But my guess is, yeah, make 20 years later, he'd get better,
See,
but there'd still be parts of it that he would be like, oh, I'm still not all great with this. And what would be even cooler is if she was able to figure out and unlock things that he was never able to.
well, yeah, and I can see
And
that happening, but I can also see where they would kill him off and he passes and she finds the suit and is like, what is this?
there that would be also, and maybe, but you need a mentor figure in this in a show like that because he had the FBI agent. He had
Yeah.
Robert Culp's character, the FBI agent, who was the guy that kind of helped him and he was and used him really. I mean, he was a tool for him. And so I think for that show to work, you still need somebody like that. So maybe her father is kind of coaching from the sidelines, so to speak, or if not
Could be
him,
mom.
if it could be mom, it could be some other schmuck that she knows that's like maybe is a big I mean, it doesn't. I don't think it really works if there are real superheroes in this world. Like he's got to be the only one. So, yeah, like maybe another law enforcement person that she can work with. That kind of thing.
But she's
I think
dating a
it'd be
cop.
great, huh?
She's dating a cop. That's what it is.
Yeah, maybe she's dating a cop. Yeah, exactly. And he's like, oh, honey, he doesn't want to put her in danger, but he sees the benefit
Yeah.
of what she can do,
So
and
Allison
then
says,
but then you
wonder
also
if the suit has different powers for different genders.
well that too. There's so many different things, and like I said, maybe she was able to figure out. Maybe she's actually better at using the suit than her dad was. Maybe there's just something about her personality or about her just herself that
Her
maybe she's more
confidence.
confident. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So there's
The
a
suit kind
slew
of
of
was
different.
like Presto's hat. It was the more confidence you had, the better it worked.
Yeah, for sure. So there's a slew of different ways and different directions that they could go. So
I'd be all
I'd be
for
down,
it.
dude. I'd be down because it
I'd
would.
be down for them to redo the show because the show did not get long enough. I don't
I
think.
got I think 3 seasons. It really
I
didn't
think I
go
got like 2 and then a half, maybe.
maybe.
Um,
Yeah, I'd have to look.
but I just think that it ended too soon, and I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it. I mean, I was young when it was on.
Yeah,
But
I was
I did
even
enjoy
younger.
I did enjoy the show. I watched it every week back when you couldn't just binge a show
Hmm.
or whatever. You had to be sitting in front of the TV at that time watching it. Click 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 click. Um, but yeah,
At least until it was syndicated.
yeah. Um,
Let's see.
sorry, I'm looking. There were 45 episodes
So
total.
2 seasons. It was yeah, you were right. 2 seasons. It was 1981 to 83. Um,
Yeah, to
so yeah, I
February of 80,
was
March 18th, 1981 to February 3rd of 1983.
so two full seasons. And it was interesting too. They actually changed the name of the lead character
Oh
to
yeah,
Ralph. It was Ralph Hinckley. Yeah, they
yeah.
changed his last name because if I remember correctly, he shared a common last name with the guy that
Shot
tried
Reagan.
to shoot Reagan. Right.
Yep.
So they changed his name.
I
Um,
just realized. I just thought of that. I'm like, wait, yeah, that's right. It was.
mhm.
Um. Yeah. It's 45 episodes includes the pilot and a later unaired episode. So,
Connie Selica.
yep.
It was it was such a fun show. So that's the other thing too. What I would need if they were gonna remake it, they need to keep it light. It can't make it too serious because if they try and make it like dark or too serious,
I didn't know John Billingsley was on it. I
you're
forgot
gonna
about that.
it'll lose what the spark. It'll lose what made it kind of special.
I forgot John Billingsley was on it. I didn't realize that.
The show had a ton of character actors of that era. It's funny too because watching a lot of shows from back then, a lot of the various different shows back then, recycled the same actors over and over and over and over again. Like you saw a slew of the same kind of character actors. It was almost like there was only like 4 dozen fucking male actors in television at the time. And they're the ones that got the majority of the work of character actors back then. It's the same thing like if you watch a lot of the sitcoms of the era too. You watch Golden Girls, you watch which came a little later, or Night Court, or any of those sitcoms. You saw the same, particularly a sitcom like Night Court, where you saw like lots of day players, a lot of characters or actors that came in just to do one character for one episode. You'd be like, oh, I remember that guy. I remember that dude, you know? Or sometimes you'd see the actor reoccur as in different characters. But the same actors that showed up on Greatest American Hero were also on Chips. They were also on Hunter. Were also on the A Team. Were also on Dukes of Hazzard, on $6 Million Man, the Hulk. They were all like they kind of recycled a lot of those actors over and over and over again. So speaking of superheroes, I did binge.
Well, hold on before we get into that. There is
Mm,
one other thing that I forgot to mention at the beginning.
mm.
That I wanted to do is I want to raise a glass to Catherine O'Hara, who
Oh
passed
man,
away suddenly this week.
Friday.
Yeah. Um I I was bummed when I heard that. Um very talented actress, very
Yeah,
funny. Schitt's
for
Creek
sure.
is amazing.
Oh yeah.
She was great on Last of Us. I've loved
She's
her in everything I've seen her
I've
in.
never seen her do something bad.
Yeah. Home Alone
You
wasn't
know.
great, but
Well,
still.
I mean,
Um
for a
but
lot of
but
people,
yeah.
that was their introduction to her because there were
Right.
a lot of people that didn't know her from SCTV or some of the other things she had done
Right.
before that.
But yes. So here's to Catherine O'Hara. Thank you for all the laughs. Great actress. Mm. You're right, CD. She was on the studio too.
Yeah, I think
She was
honestly,
great on that
seeing
actually.
seeing her on Last of Us was probably one of the first times I'd ever seen her do a strictly serious role.
Yeah.
Like I mean, yes, she was kind of funny in a few points because she was, she made jokes.
And she was trading drugs
she was, well, for
for
therapy.
therapy. Yeah.
She was being sardonic. Well, that's because there was a trading.
Yeah.
It was a
It's a
trading,
barter world.
system.
Yeah.
Um, but she yeah, she was sardonic. The character was very sardonic, but she was serious. It was a very serious part, and it was it was really good. Like she was great. She was amazing in that part. Um, definitely gonna miss her. My feed on both Facebook and Instagram has been flooded with praise videos and things like that for her work. She really was incredible. Um,
But anyway, sorry. So we can get back to what you were talking about now.
Yeah, over the weekend um
Superheroes.
yes, I binged the entirety of Wonder Man
So how
on
many
Disney Plus.
spoilers are you about to tell us?
Hopefully, no real spoilers. I just wanted to. I don't want to get into too much because it was just
Yeah,
open. It
how
just
about
opened
just
on.
what'd you think?
I liked it. I think it was. It's not so much about. It's not about being a superhero at all. It's about being an actor. It's about a guy
An
struggling,
actor.
an actor. It really because the character of Simon Williams, he's an actor, and it does go into like his past. It goes into like some of his trauma, some of his struggle as a person, but it's also a struggle of him being a struggling actor, working in Hollywood for 10 years, doing things like an episode here, an episode there, and being a little bit difficult because he is an artist and um he overthinks things a little bit too much. He's looking for, like actors do. He's looking for, well, what's what's the character's motivation? What's my character's motivation? What's the backstory here? What kind of history do these two characters have? When it's a one-off on an episode of American Horror Story, um, he's a bit player. He's a you know, and there's struggle with his family and struggle with his girlfriend, and that's really the heart of it right there. You could honestly take the superhero aspect or the that aspect away from a lot of the story, and would have been still a decent show. uh Sir Ben Kingsley is spectacularly good again as Trevor Slattery. We get to see Trevor being his comedic self, but we also get to see it we see him being a even a much better person. He grows as a character as well. And I really appreciated that too because Trevor Slattery, every time we've seen him, he's been comedic relief for the most part. He was a red herring the first time we saw him. Then he was comedic relief. And then again, after that, several times after that, he was just been comedic relief. So to see them develop his character a little bit further and a little bit more, and they go into his backstory too, the fact that, and interestingly enough, Trevor would have been one of those actors that fell into that category I was just talking about like an actor in the 80s and the 70s and 80s that was in all kinds of shows. That was constantly you saw them in different, oh, here's an episode of this and here's an episode of that and here's this kind of thing. Um, so yeah, that's about it that I wanted to talk about. It's there at the moment. I would like to get
Okay.
into a deeper kind of analyzing of it
Yeah,
because it
once I've
is
had a chance
good.
to watch some of it. I mean, I haven't even had a chance. I haven't had a chance to watch any of that. I'm behind on Starfleet Academy now. I'm behind on Fallout. I'm behind on
Mhm.
Rookie. I'm behind on everything at the
We
moment. I
got
haven't had
caught
a
up.
chance to start watching Shrinking yet.
Right.
Um
Rookie's tonight, so I can't. So the new episode I won't be able to watch till tomorrow because it goes to Hulu. Um, I am caught up on Fallout. We caught up yesterday. Um, oh, as Starfleet Academy was, I liked this episode because it delved. It was a
was there more
Klingon.
feet?
No, it was a Klingon centric episode. It dealt with more of the we got into the backstory on Jaden and his backstory and his family and stuff like that, and what's going on with the Klingons. Now, this is an interesting thing. It's an interesting discussion because,
Well, we'll get into it once I can watch it.
yeah, watch
But
the
don't
episode
spoil it.
because
Spoiler it.
like I said, it does get into an interesting thing because we see what's happened to the Klingon post burn, and we did talk about how I didn't mind so much the idea of the burn itself. If suddenly nobody could, they travel around the galaxy was hamstrung. I just didn't like how they resolved the burn, how they figured out what happened and
Although
why. That was
I
really
like
dumb.
the concept of the burn. We've talked about this before. I like the concept of the
Mhm.
burn. The resolution of the burn
Oh, the burn
was fucking awful.
was terrible.
It's Ryan Johnson Star Wars awful.
Yeah, no, that was bad. That was really this guy has some sort of resonance with
The
with
lithium crystals.
dilithium, and it
And,
just
and it's not
no,
even like the crystals near him. No, it's in the entire fucking galaxy.
that's how they explained it. It was through subspace, which is why it was able to reach throughout the entire galaxy, and it was just like, what the fuck, and there was too much risk, but the Klingons were hurt even worse from the burn because of their reliance on dilithium, and I'll leave it at that because it's a major story point. The explanation of that is a major story point, but I did like that it delves more into Jaden because I do like him as a character. I think the idea of delving into the idea of a Klingon who doesn't want to be a warrior, who wants to be a healer, is fantastic. I love it. So it is one of my one of the things I like probably more about that show than most anything else is let's talk about that. I think that Star Trek at one point particularly could very well have had a show. They could have had a show that centered almost they could have had a Klingon show. It could have been Star Trek Klingon. They could have done a Klingon centric show. It just would have been expensive because everybody would have had to have been in prosthetic makeup. So the costs for the special effects budget would have been through the fucking roof. But anyways, check out Wonder Man.
Yep, it's
I
definitely on my list.
I polished off Ironheart. Ironheart was entertaining, but you could probably skip it. It's not. It's okay.
I liked Ironheart.
Did you watch? Did you watch
Yeah.
the whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I thought I couldn't remember if you'd watched it. I watched it. It was fun. I liked the ending. I liked how I'm surprised how they were able to integrate Mephisto at the end. I thought having Sacha Baron Cohen play him was pretty cool actually, and I think he did a great job. Um, I did find it to be weird that they integrated magic into her armor. But I wasn't. I liked how they introduced the character of Zelma, who was introduced in Doctor Strange in the comics. So some of that was fun, but it should be interesting to see how if they go and they play that out. The problem I think with some of these Marvel shows and movies and stuff is that they're introducing storylines that I think we may never see a resolution to, like in She-Hulk, where they introduced the Hulk's son at the end, and Scar.
Yeah,
and
like they were setting up for Planet Hulk.
Mm-hmm. And we probably won't see that now because She-Hulk
it looks like they're
didn't
going to go
work
a
out.
different direction.
Mm-hmm. And the same thing with Ironheart. Ironheart did okay. It wasn't She-Hulk, but it did okay. And so I think we're not going to see a whole lot of resolution on Ironheart, at least not for now.
Yeah.
Not for quite a while.
In a
Same
month
thing
we
with
get
Moon Knight.
in a month we get more Daredevil. We get Jessica Jones.
Right.
Well,
Jessica Jones,
on Daredevil.
She is going to be in Daredevil, which I am extremely excited about.
Yeah, she's
she
in the
is
preview.
in the trailer.
She's in the trailer. Yep.
We forgot to mention that when we discussed the trailer briefly last week.
Yeah. And I love the fact that Kristen Ritter got Charlie Cox to start knitting.
Yeah.
I think that's hilarious.
It is pretty funny.
That she would just, that's what she did. That's what she does when she's, on set, but not actually in a scene. They'll sit there and knit. And he's like, they started talking about it and he he was like, well, can I try it? And so she taught him how to knit
Yeah.
while they were doing Defenders.
Well, knitting is a very kind of a lot of people
It's
find it to be
repetitive. It's calming.
soothing,
It's
calming. Exactly. Um, the Grammys happened.
And that was the next thing I wanted to talk about was the Grammys.
Right.
So one big thing.
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg got his EGOT.
For what?
He won a Grammy.
That's
that
what
was
I mean.
the last thing he needed. I didn't hear. Renee told me about it. Okay, here we go. What did Spielberg win a Grammy for? It was best music film for best music film for producing the documentary Music by John Williams.
Huh. Well, okay. Why not?
So that gets him his EGOT. He was just an EOT before.
Okay.
So yeah, so he got his Grammy, and can I just say, is it Chapel Roan?
Chapel Roan, yeah.
What a statement!
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, that was a statement. Nipple
Yeah.
clamps and all. Just
well, the dress. Okay, so from what I understand, those were prosthetics. So that was how she was able to kind of get away with being topless, quote unquote.
Yes.
I'll tell you, those were some pretty good prosthetics, man. I didn't see any seams. The makeup artists that worked on her were great, as were the tattoos on her back and her.
That was actually really cool.
Too.
It looked like henna. Like those were really cool, very intricate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious as to how much time that took.
Well, they were probably designed ahead of time, and then they were applied, kind of like how you would
a temporary tattoo,
a temporary tattoo, like a little kid's temporary tattoo. But they still had to be hand painted and or designed. There's a couple of different ways you can go about doing it. You can design them, and then they can be printed onto a transfer sheet, or they can be painted onto the transfer sheet and then transferred. There's a bunch of different ways to do it. I have seen it done. I've never done it. So, they probably were not hand painted.
So CD says his 11-year-old's a big Roan fan. She's huge with young girls. And that was one of the things that I saw somebody say about it is, how do people feel about her young fans seeing this? And to me, I'm like, fuck it. She's an adult woman.
Mm-hmm.
She has young fans. If anything, that's something that's empowering for women.
Sure, absolutely. And she's not. I mean, yes, she is a role model. She didn't ask to be one, though. So it's like, just because she is walking around like that doesn't necessarily mean she's. Oh, it doesn't mean she's a terrible person. That's us putting that's society putting expectations on her,
right? And the thing is so yeah. Tellison says, if you're proud of it, flaunt it. But the thing is that it's a matter of sexualization anyway.
Correct.
I mean, we have sexualized women's breasts when men's breasts are not.
Correct.
We still got them. We don't have as much fat in ours, and they're not meant for anything. Why the fuck we have nipples, I have no idea. But
it goes back to the fact that we have an X chromosome. But it's. I mean, I would argue though that men's chests are sexualized. I mean, how often do you see in
they are, but they're allowed to be exposed.
Exactly, that's the difference.
Men can show off nipples,
right?
But a woman show a nipple, oh fuck that! You got to blur that shit out on social media or anywhere.
Correct. It's speaking as a body painter, as a someone who has work on my Instagram and Facebook pages of topless women in body paint, and that's all it takes is a little bit of body paint to make it so that it's okay for a woman to be topless on screen. That's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. but it also I believe it goes back to the idea that women also feed children through their breasts and that kind of thing.
So
So
what?
it's
That is
bullshit.
nothing.
It's
That's
all
not
bullshit.
sexualization. So they
Correct.
feed a child. So it's a
That's
way.
a good thing. That's
Yeah,
even
it's a
a
good
better
thing. It's
right.
it's 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 a nutrient dispersal system.
Wow. That was I'd never say nutrient dispersal system to me ever again, please. Um
But it
all in
is.
all, yes,
It's a
all in
juice
all,
box.
the juice bag really. It's really more of a bag. I ultimately it's complete and total horseshit that we that the society puts this on. That's why a lot of cities and well, not a lot, but some cities in this country and
They sell milk
states
in a bag in
now
Canada.
they do. Um, it's why how some places in this country they've enacted laws where it's okay for women to go in public topless. The problem is when women go topless in public, it tends to create drama. It create, because somebody is going to make an issue about it and whatever else. So they still are very careful as to where and how they do it. You're not going to see women walking around at the zoo, but I believe in New York City, women are allowed to go topless now.
Oh yeah.
But the problem is it's just uh, there's not a ton of safe spaces for it.
Yeah. I'm listening to you. I'm just making myself another drink.
I know. Um, so yeah, it gets it it is on us to change this to change the narrative to make it so that it's okay that it's just a boob, man. It's okay. It's just a boob. There's no need to get all fucking weird and wild about it. I get nudity. Nudity, full, complete nudity. Maybe that's something that people can cover up for. But being topless, it's just silly. The fact,
It's
and
not an
ultimately,
actual sexual organ.
correct. Is it used
It's a
to entertain you?
sexualized organ, but it's
Correct.
not a sexual organ.
Correct. So, um, I mean, and like in Europe, it's in various parts of Europe, it's completely different. Um, Women can walk around topless, and it's completely different. So the attitudes people have, nude beaches are, in fact, nudity itself actually in Europe is thought of in a much different
So
way.
here's the thing. Well, this is one of the things that I think's really interesting when you compare the U.S. to like other parts of the country. It really shows how prudish we are here.
Hmm.
Um, in Europe, nudity's okay, but violence is not tolerated
Correct.
on TV. Like you can't show people getting shot and killed and things like that on TV over there, or like big gunfights or vicious fights, things like
Right.
that. Whereas here in the US, that's fine. But a nipple is okay.
Yeah.
Here, we can't show a fucking nipple on TV, a female nipple on TV, but we can show people getting shot and killed and blood splatter all over the place. As long as it's not decapitation, we're
Correct.
good with it.
Yeah. It is absolutely just stupid. In all honesty, it is absolutely stupid. Um, That being said, bravo to Chappelle Roan and her bravery of doing something like that.
She
Um,
does her own thing, man.
she does.
I
She
saw a
does.
thing where they were showing like other things she's done. She doesn't give a fuck about what people think.
No,
She
and
wears things that she wants to wear.
I've also seen her confront like reporters and people that have said shit to her online. She's confronted them in public when she's seen them. Uh, she has. I'm
Exactly,
really
CD.
not overly familiar with her music.
I'm not either.
Um,
I couldn't tell you if I've
But
ever heard of one of her
she
songs.
does that one "Hot to Go" song,
I don't
which
know
is
that.
that was the big one that kind of broke her out, I believe. But For the most part, I'm not a particular fan of her music,
Pink
but
Pony Club, Renee said.
Pink Pony Club, that's another one. Yeah. There's a if you heard it, you'd probably go, "Oh, I've heard that in a
Yeah.
commercial or I've heard that in something." Um she she's she's very talented and she's making waves and doing things her own way and I think and I appreciate that as an artist. I think she's doing some pretty cool stuff.
Oh, Renee said
Um
I heard it 5 times at the Scotties. I couldn't tell you. Every band covered it and they played it in the arena. Okay, I don't think I even paid attention to it.
of which song?
Pink Pony Club
Oh yeah.
or Punk Pony Club, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, CD said reference Janet Jackson in the Super Bowl, which they were talking about. That was 20, I think they said
Over 20 years ago.
23
Was it?
years ago or 22 years ago.
Something like that.
Yeah.
We talked about it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Um she's doing some great stuff. And I mean, I also want to address and thank Trevor Noah for hosting the show
Mm.
and bringing up that Nicki Minaj was not there. Because that piece of shit, that screaming piece of shit.
Dude, he got so under Trump's skin too.
Oh yeah, Trump threatened to sue him for some of the jokes that he made.
Yeah.
Because for saying that he's in the Epstein files. He's in the Epstein files.
Yeah, well,
he's over
he said he was at the
3,000
island. He's
mentions.
like, I have never been at the island.
Oh,
I've never
been to the island. That's
Yeah.
what it was.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which, by the way, did you see that speaking of the Epstein files, not to get on the political subject, but the Clintons have now agreed to testify in
Who did
Congress.
what?
The
Oh yeah, the
Clintons
Clintons. Yep,
have
they're
agreed to testify in Congress.
They're coming. They're going to come to the and well, I think not so much testify as they're going to come and be questioned or
They're questioned. It's
they're
testifying.
being questioned.
It's testifying.
So, yeah. Well, testifying in some people's mind that equates to a trial. There isn't a trial.
No, but it is still testifying in front of Congress. That just means you're speaking.
They're going to tell their story or tell their side or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. They'll be questioned and they'll tell their side.
Great. Fantastic. That means that they're willing to be open about what happened.
I also saw a thing that said the opening of Melania is so bad they're releasing the Epstein files as a distraction.
Distraction, yeah. Apparently, now to be fair, Melania got an opening weekend of $7 million, from what I understand. Now, that is one of the highest openings, or if not the highest opening for a documentary ever. They were projecting $5 million, and it cost $75 million to make it, because it cost them $40 million to make it. And a lot of that cost was for the rights to the story.
Yeah. $26 million was for the rights to the story.
Right. And a friend of mine had said, who has been a documentary filmmaker, had said that
the Melania movie bribe. Yes, it's exactly what it was.
That's exactly what it was. It was a bribe. It was money laundering. It was whatever you need to call it. But they made a lot of money. So the Trump family made a lot of money off of that because they sold her story. Now, I hope she gets that money. I hope that money goes to her. But it probably won't. It'll go to the family.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, if she stays with Trump throughout the rest of his lifetime, which probably isn't much longer,
we can only hope.
Yeah, she will. In the grand scheme, even if he survives his next presidency, he's in the twilight of his years.
Yeah. CD said he's made over $1 billion from this year from his presidency.
Yeah, exactly. He has made. He's the most profited president ever.
Yep.
From being president. He's made more money. He's richer now than he was when he became
That's all he cares
president.
about.
Yeah, absolutely. We've definitely discussed this. But anyways, my friend Jamie had said that documentaries do not cost that much money to make. Not in the millions of dollars usually. They usually cost less than $1 million. They usually cost, if they cost more than $500,000, you're in a really.
It costs $2 million to make it, and $26 million to get the rights.
Right, and and then it costs another 35 million to promote it. And the thing is, I haven't seen that much in the way
That's
of
great,
promotion.
Taliesin. How do I decline this Black Mirror season we're living in?
Yeah, no kidding, man. So, but they're saying it is the worst reviewed um that they've ever seen. One of the worst. I think that it's been saved from a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes by one positive remark
Who
that
got
they were
paid to
talking
make that
about.
remark?
Yes, yeah, I saw that. The it's unbelievable. They're saying it is the one of the best, if not, best, for lack of a better term, like depictions of propaganda you've ever seen in your life. Um, and it was funny because like and Nicki Minaj was at the premiere. That woman she is straight up sucking Donald Trump's dick. I mean, like he gave her, it got a 5%. It got 5% from the critics. But interestingly enough, the popcorn meter is 99% through 500 verified ratings, 500 plus verified ratings. So the critics, 5% because it's awful. But the um the fan part, the popcorn meter, is 99%. And this is one of those great examples of how Rotten Tomatoes is kind of broken, because you got to know that all of these people that saw it, that are giving it these reviews, these positive reviews, are MAGA freaks that have gone, that just see it as a wonderful thing. Here's a Kim C. It is a wonderful movie. It takes through the days leading up to the inauguration, the planning she did for it. Come on. It gives a lot of insight about the project she's been working on for children. She's a very gracious, a very nice lady. It gives insights into Melania's life. Anyone who thinks the life of President or FLOTUS is a life of luxury and leisure are highly. This fucking site is slow. Come on. Well, anyway, you got to know that they are basically doing the opposite of review bombing it, and so that it'll get some positivity. But the reviewers, the critics, were like, "My God, Melania is a singularly bad movie. I really did give it a fair shake. All I can say is no matter who made it, no matter who paid for it, no matter who is about, Melania is a singularly bad movie. An obsequious, ring-kissing portrait of the current U.S. administration, dressed in gauche, glossy reality TV clothing, and yet somehow still better than Rush Hour 3. Um,
Wow,
Holy shit.
you gonna really like pull that out?
Yeah, that's what Empire Magazine said, 1 out of 5. Um, it's the reviews I've been reading were absolutely terrible. So I don't know. There's a part of me that wants to see it because it's like, it sounds like it's going to be so terrible, that it's so terrible that it's still kind of like worth watching. But I just know I can't bring myself to do it. And of course, it was also directed by Brett Ratner, who was more or less kicked out of Hollywood a couple years ago, for like being disgusting. He directed it and produced it. So,
So, to move on, we're already at 9:30 here. I only have one more thing to talk about, and that's the trailer for Darth Maul looks fucking cool.
okay. I actually haven't. I
Um,
haven't seen it. I gotta watch it.
yeah, watch it. It looks like it's going to be really cool. One of the things I saw that was in the I saw it in an article that and I didn't catch it in the trailer. I have to go back and watch the trailer again. It's really just a teaser, but there's rumors that we're going to get Darth Talon in this. which for anyone that doesn't know, Darth Talon is a female Sith Twi'lek.
Yeah, she's the red Twi'lek.
She's the
that's
red
got
Twi'lek with the
Mhm.
tattoos all over. Um, in Big Bang Theory, Howard had a statue of her in his room, and there was also one in the comic book shop, which is probably actually just the same statue, just moved.
What was she in originally? Like, what
She
was? Because I thought she was basically just like fan stuff.
no, I think she's in novels. I don't know her. I know who she is, but I don't know her. She actually is much later, I think, in the timeline. Let's see. I've got her pulled up here. She is in 137 ABY. So after 137 years after the Battle of Yavin.
Okay.
So she's much later. But yeah, she's a badass looking character, and I think it'll be cool to bring her in. Although having a red Twi'lek with Maul, who's also red with tattoos, I think that just kind of is a little too much. But I would not be upset with bringing her in.
Yeah, she's in the fucking trailer.
Yeah. Oh, is she?
I think there's a second one or a different one.
Oh, maybe I haven't seen the second one, the new one.
There's a new trailer from 3 days ago.
Okay, I have not seen that one, and maybe that's where I saw it.
The
That's
official
why
teaser trailer was 144, and then there's a new one from 3 days ago. So
okay, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I like the Maul story. I actually don't hate that they kept him around. I mean, they've kept other people around, like, I mean, fuck, let's look at what happened to Vader. He should have died as well. So getting cut in half and having his lower half be robotic, I'm not opposed to them doing it. I think the character itself was cool as hell.
So does this movie or this show take place? When does it take place? Does it take place?
It is
as a prequel?
It's taking place between I think it's after Solo is where it's taking place.
Okay. So before Phantom Menace.
No, after Phantom Menace. Solo was after episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's in that 20-year period between Revenge of the Sith and New Hope. That's where it's taking place, is in there.
Okay.
Yeah, Solo was after.
Oh yeah, I guess that
after
that would make
Revenge,
sense,
because that's the whole thing. At the end of Solo, Darth Maul shows up.
Right.
And I mean, he was in Clone Wars. He came back in Clone Wars too, with a robotic bottom half. He actually takes over Mandalore for a while. Anyway, so now I am now drinking a new drink. I just decided to try this. It is Redemption bourbon, a little bit of grenadine, and some club soda. And it's absolutely delicious.
Okay.
Really good. I'm going to look up to see if it's actually a drink, because it might be already. If it's not, then I'll come up with a name for it.
I hadn't realized, but there is also a new trailer for The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Oh, is there? I heard there was
featuring Chewbacca.
A what?
Featuring Chewie.
I'm sorry. They don't need to tie everything to fucking together.
I know. I agree.
I mean,
like Chewie.
Luke's already tied in.
Yeah. Look, I like Chewie as much as the next guy. I mean, he's one of my favorite.
Chewie.
Yeah, who doesn't? Everybody loves Chewie. He's one of my hands down one of my favorite characters, Star Wars characters for sure. But do we need him in this? I don't think that's that's necessary.
The fact that they brought Chewie into like Attack of the Clones, I thought or Revenge of the Sith, I thought was awful.
Yeah, at the end there, yeah.
But Actually, who doesn't love Chewie? Um, I mean, R.A. Salvatore, when he got approached, I think I've told this story before because
Yeah.
he talked about this when I met him. Um, he said that he got approached to do a Star Wars story and he was super jazzed, super geeked about it because he's a huge Star Wars fan, and he was all excited. I get to do a Star Wars novel. This is awesome. This is so great. And when he got on the call with his agent and the publisher, and the publisher was like, oh, did you tell him the great news? And he was like, what news? And they're like, oh yeah, you're gonna kill Chewbacca. And he went, no, I'm not.
I'm not. Yeah. No way. To be the author that killed Chewbacca? No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely
He's
not.
like, no, he's like, I am not killing Chewbacca. So the way he did it was he basically had the planet blow up that Chewbacca was on. And he actually said that after doing that, it was like a year later after the novel came out or something like that, he was actually at a con signing books, and he just saw the crowd part in front of him where he was up on like a stage, and the crowd just parted, and this giant is like storming down through the crowd, and it was Peter Mayhew.
Yeah, right.
And he walked up and started choking him. And he's like, I have pictures of Peter Mayhew choking me. I'm like, that is fucking awesome.
That's funny. Yeah, I the only thing with the only problem I have with getting into some of these animated shows is like I'm so behind in all the animated shows. Like I mean,
dude, look up.
There's a figure out.
So if you want to watch Clone Wars,
I know you're telling me that there's a list of
where you can skip the filler episodes. I did not, but I should have, because some of those filler episodes are tough to watch.
Yeah.
They're not good. But yeah, it's I enjoyed Clone Wars, but there's a lot of bad. CD, you're right. Lots of Clone Wars good, but lots of bad. Yeah. You can skip. I would say, yeah, watch a lot of the stuff, like the stuff that they actually do with the troopers that are working with Anakin and Obi-Wan, and how the way that they change, and they really kind of evolve from the typical clones, and it's because of who they're working with.
Yeah,
they're not treated as just these disposable soldiers,
and that's very interesting. I think that's really great that the characters,
so like Commander Cody and stuff like that. Like there's rumors that there's a fan theory that Commander Cody was actually on Endor with Han and Leia. That one of the characters is actually now, like, Commander Cody was there.
Well, he would have been much older.
There is an older character. Like, if you look at the Battle of Endor, when they're attacking the base on Endor.
Oh, he was a rebel?
He was one of the rebels, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he's there as one of the rebel troopers. There's an older guy with a big gray beard and stuff, and everyone's like, that's Cody.
Well, that's, why not? They have shown on the shows. I remember, I think it was in Mandalorian where he's walking along. Or was it Mandalorian or one of them, where you see the actor that plays Boba Fett sitting on the and he's basically a homeless guy, and he's begging for credits or whatever because he's
a former clone.
He's a former clone.
Well, he's still a clone, but he was a former trooper.
He's a trooper, right? And he's down on his luck, or whatever.
Yeah. But dude, yeah, watch Clone Wars and definitely watch Bad Batch. Bad Batch is so fucking good.
No, I've heard really good things, but not just from you, but from a lot.
I still have to watch the last episode, but it's mostly because I want to be able to just dedicate an hour and a half, because it's a 90-minute episode, and I want to just be able to sit and watch it and enjoy the end of that show. I truly loved everything about Bad Batch. I thought it was fantastic.
Okay. Yeah. I'll
One
check
of
it
the
out
one of the
tonight.
best Star Wars stories, I think, in a long time.
So one of the things I'm really enjoying about Outlaws is that there isn't any connection, any real connection to the Skywalker saga. Now, from what I
Yes,
understand, there is some DLC. Like at the beginning, you're you know the like the rebels ask you to join there, and you're like, I don't want to do that, and because she's just she's just trying to make her way, she's trying to survive in this kind of dystopia.
it really
The
is a
good part,
dystopian.
particularly the outer rim.
Yeah, which
Um,
is where it mostly takes place.
right. I mean, they discuss. I was discussing with somebody about the fact that about how faster than light travel works in Star Wars. I mean, and the fact that they really do talk about spanning the galaxy and about how they're able to get faster than light travel is a lot faster in Star Wars than it is in Star Trek.
Hmm.
In Star Trek, it still takes to get from even at warp 9, it takes a long time to get from one side of the galaxy to the other. A lot more like because you're really moving at you know greater than light speed, but it still takes a long time. In Star Wars, it takes like half an hour to get from one side of the galaxy to the other.
It's a little
Like
longer than that.
even so, it's not
But
years.
it's hours. It's
Right.
hours.
But it's not years. When it takes in Star Trek, like with Voyager, they were in the Delta Quadrant, and Star Trek, and the main Federation is in the Alpha Quadrant, and it was going to take them 80 years to get from that side of the galaxy to the other side of the galaxy, basically. And we're not even talking about like the extreme sides. It probably would have taken even longer if it was the extreme sides. And
So
that's why they're always looking
yeah.
for
So
faster ways to travel and stuff like that. But so anyway, with Star Wars, it's like the with my point is with their ability to move as fast as they can and to get around like that. It's amazing to me that even the planets that are the outer rim are living a tough life. That these people are going hungry and they're struggling to make ends meet on these planets where you can move from star to star in minutes. Um, it's a pretty, and I was also talking about this too the other day, is that Star Wars is such a distinctive design element. You can watch any Star Wars game or show or whatever, and it's immediately recognizable as Star Wars.
mhm.
Yes, there's a few.
All you got to do is go, and
Yeah,
you know it's Star Wars.
well, sure, but I mean, I'm talking about like ship design, even
Yeah,
from race to race. The Mon Calamari design different than ships differently than the Corellians. Then it just
I actually
it
did
very much
like that
depends.
a lot. That the
Yeah,
ships were so different.
they were different, but they're still distinctive. They're still
Yes.
a the detail or the oriented details, the from planet to planet, you're still seeing like vehicles that look like they need constant upkeep. Um, I don't know. It's kind of it's almost hard to really completely
So
describe exactly what I'm saying, but it is a very recognizable thing. Similar in a lot of ways to the way Star Trek is also very recognizable as Star Trek, no matter
yeah.
what you look at.
So just to let you just to go into it. So according to what I found online, um, in A New Hope, which the big one that everyone knows is the trip from Tatooine to Alderaan. That took anywhere from a few hours to a day. A lot of things say like 12 to 24 hours to go that far. Because Leia was still getting in, she was getting interrogated by Vader, and Luke had to have time for Ben to start training him and stuff.
Sure.
Um, the distance from Alderaan to Tatooine is supposedly 50,855 light year.
And it took them maybe a day.
Yeah.
Maybe a day. It's just it's
Now,
incredible,
granted, The Falcon has a superb hyperdrive engine.
Sure.
Is a 0.5 past light speed, is what he says. Now, here's the thing. If you go by a standard scale, 0.5 past light speed. So light speed means you're going to travel 1 light year in a year. You're at 0.5, you're going to travel 2 light years in a year. That means it would be 25,000 years for them to get between the two.
So that you got to wonder what that scale is.
Yeah, it's got to be an exponential scale.
It's got to be an exponential scale, because if it's only 0.5 past, what's 0.1? You know, I mean, it can't be just what we're thinking.
It can't be a linear scale. It has to be an exponential scale.
Exactly. And you also got to think about the ship design. Okay, the Falcon obviously has sleeping arrangements. You know, there is a place where you can nap and bed. You can live in the Falcon. But like
it's
an X-Wing, right? It's a freighter. I mean, you know, when Han and Chewie landed at Tatooine, they weren't going to stay at an inn or something.
No, they were staying on the Falcon.
Yeah. But when you look at a ship like an X-Wing,
which is a fighter,
but it does have an FTL.
That's the thing. It's one of the few fighters that actually has a hyperdrive.
Mm-hmm. But when you also think about it, so it's got a hyperdrive, but it doesn't have like the kind of thing that you can go for 5 days. You know, it might have, you know, maybe some food resources, and you can maybe recline and rations, and you got your R2 unit, you know, piloting while you're sleeping, but it's not built for like long journeys.
No.
So, which is why another reason why, like when Obi-Wan in, I think, the third movie goes to the second movie goes to Camino to research this clone army that he just found out about. He has his ship is attached to like a booster system.
Yeah, it's a hyperdrive engine is what it is, because that was what I was going to bring up.
His little Jedi fighter,
like the old Jedi ships did not, the Jedi fighters did not have hyperdrives, so they had to actually attach to a hyperdrive engine
that stayed in orbit.
They would then detach from to fly into.
Mm-hmm. So because you got to think of some of these ships, they're also, you know, I doubt a fighter probably has the same hyperdrive engine that could get them the same distance as the Falcon can. You know, they probably are a little more limited as to how far they can go, you know, because they really are a ship more so built to be on a carrier. So it's an interesting thing. Like I said, you see some of these planets that are completely opulent, like Coruscant, although Coruscant sure has its darker side and stuff too. But Coruscant, an entire planet that's covered in a city, or some of these other cities these other planets that are known to be elaborate.
The peak of their highest mountain was left untouched, so that they could still have. That's the only place that there's actually like ground on Coruscant.
Wild, man. That's pretty wild. I did like the fact that in Outlaws, your main character comes from that one planet that was basically their entire industry was a resort. It's the one planet where there's the racing that I think, I don't know, like that's the second post sequel movie, the second or third one, where Finn goes to this one like casino world, basically, where they've got horse races. It's a form of horse racing. And
yeah, I'm trying to remember because it's been a while.
It's like the second or third one.
Outlaw
might be the third one. It's hard because that movie was so rushed, you know.
It was. KVS comes from the workers district in Canto Bight.
Yes.
On the planet Pentonica.
Mm-hmm.
she's a scoundrel living during the Galactic Empire's reign, specifically between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, yeah, because they talk about the Battle of Yavin, and it does take place.
So she's
I
within
couldn't tell.
it's within that 3-month period between.
Yeah, yeah, I know it was after It was after episode 1, but before episode 3. It was somewhere within just the time frame of episode 2. Because they even talk about how because of the Battle of Yavin, the
Oh,
Empire has
it's
upped
episode
its
7 or episode. Sorry, not episode 7. Episode 5.
Yeah.
After 5, before 6.
Yes. Yeah. But because they talk about how the Empire's increased security on Tatooine since the Battle of Yavin. I guess, because there's stormtroopers in a lot of places. I don't know. It is interesting to see how like dystopian it really is, and it shows how like the Empire was failing. They were failing to take care of their people. They were, but so was the Republic because the problems were intrinsic before the Empire took control. So it's like, it's the problems of running a galaxy spanning republic or government at all.
Well, and then you get into like the shit in Ahsoka where they actually jumped galaxies. They're in a different galaxy when they find Thrawn.
Oh, that's right. They are. Mm-hmm.
And
That's
now
why
they're
he's been
in season 2,
that's
which
why
we're going to get later this year. They're coming back to the regular galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
They're setting it up for they're going to do that, and then they're going to do the actual movie after that. So
Yeah, the Mandalorian and Grogu. This trailer is for the movie.
Well, that's for the movie of theirs. This has nothing to do with Thrawn. The Mandalorian Grogu is not the Thrawn movie.
Because I didn't watch it yet, but I had my mouse on it and I could kind of see some of it, and he's in the trailer.
Is he?
Yeah.
I didn't think that was going to be the movie.
He's in the trailer. Sigourney Weaver. Like I said, I haven't watched it yet, but if you just, mouse over the image on YouTube,
because that comes out this year. But
yeah, May 22nd.
What's that?
May 22nd.
Yeah. But Ahsoka season 2 won't be out yet.
Unless this is concept. No, this is because this is all new shit. I don't know. I got to look at it. Yeah, because you'd think.
It's highly likely that the Mandalorian Grogu movie will heavily feature or set up the resolution of the Grand Admiral Thrawn storyline. Huh. When is Ahsoka coming out?
I'm just happy they're using them.
When does Ahsoka season 2 come out? Doesn't have a confirmed release date, but is officially slated for 2026. Following its production wrap in late 2025, with many expecting a late 2026 arrival after the Mandalorian Grogu film, though it could slip to early 2027. So yeah, wow, I'm surprised that they're going to tie in Mandalorian Grogu to it, because I really thought that they were going to do a whole nother movie. Because I had heard that Thrawn was going to be like they were going to do the Ahsoka season 2. Do the Thrawn thing there, and then they were going to finish off the Thrawn thing in a movie. It was a Filoni movie. But who knows now that Kennedy's out, they may be changing things around. I saw a thing. I know it was just clickbait, because I know it's not happening, but they were like, oh, now that Kennedy's out, Filoni's going to do the George Lucas's original sequels. And I'm like, no, he's not. No,
he's not doing Planet of the Who jibs, okay? It's just not going to happen. It's not going to be Droid World, as much as we'd like to see that.
No, Lucas was going to go into like the microbial world of the Wills.
Right, the Wills. And there's a lot of stuff there's a lot of all kinds of weird shit. It's because George Lucas didn't have an editor. He didn't have an editor.
Lucas's world building idea was great.
Sure.
The Star Wars universe is amazing.
Yep.
He can't write dialogue worth a shit.
No.
And honestly, George, still to this day, it's space magic. You don't need to explain it. Really, seriously, we don't need midichlorians and their little bacteria that no,
we don't need it.
So
a couple last things here.
Yeah, I'll say we should start wrapping things up.
So yeah, we didn't want to get into too much about Wonder Man, but be sure you check it out. It's pretty cool. We'll talk about it more after you've watched at least a couple episodes.
Yeah.
But I think it's a pretty solid, and it got really good. It got some really great reviews. I should have, when I had Rotten Tomatoes up, I should have looked at its Rotten Tomatoes thing. Baldur's Gate 3's Shadowheart and Gale are starring in a new Magic the Gathering D&D Secret Lair pre-queue for the game. It opens next week, an hour before they inevitably sell out. Get them while they're hot. So it's going to be featuring very heavily a Shadowheart from Baldur's Gate and, of course, Gale. Shadowheart's Devotion, as the drop is named, includes 5 non-foiled cards for $29.99 or 5 foiled cards for $39.99. The same price is applied to Gale's Ambition, drop devoted to Baldur's Gate 3's Playboy Wizard, whose pecs look huge on his Archmage Charms card. So there's that. What are you yelling about? What?
Darius came on. What's up,
Darius
dude?
there. Hey, Darius there. Catching us at the end there, man. Also,
I will have
Sony
to look for those because I'm looking them up right now.
Sony has patented an AI-generated podcast hosted by video game characters that eat the data associated with your player profile. So the idea, I kid you not, would that you would basically, it says, in case no one said it yet, welcome to hell. Now please remove your hat and enjoy AI Astrobot's podcast of why the ghost of Yote should stick her dual katana in your mouth, or something like that. Publisher Sony has just patented its idea for bespoke AI-generated podcasts. So basically what would happen is you boot up your PS5, and then there would be a little icon saying your AI-generated podcast is ready, and it would basically, characters from the games that you play would give you news and items related to the games that you're playing and the things that you're watching. It says these would be LLM based generative podcasts for gamers, as indicated by the title for the concept. They've provided what Sony vaguely calls unique, personalized podcasts of news that a particular gamer would find interesting. So not so much a podcast as it is more so like a character reading the news, a character from one of the games you play, telling you what's going on. Its patent application dated back to 2024. So anyway, that's we're at the beginning of the end here, I think, is what it is. Personal podcast is available for today. It's something that would say something like that. So you want Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn to tell you about tips on how to beat the next game you're playing? It's coming. That's about it. The last thing, I guess, in somewhat political news, Alex Pretty's murder has been deemed and ruled a homicide, and the 2 men that are most responsible for it, the two
ones that emptied their magazines.
Yes, they've been identified as, and interestingly enough, 2 men of Latin origins. So that's ironic.
Speaking of that, speaking of ICE and everything, ICE was in Hazel Park today.
No kidding.
I saw it. Yeah, they raided the Amazon warehouse.
The Amazon? Well, that's not in Hazel Park. That's in Detroit. But
it's in Hazel Park. It's at 10 in DeQuinder.
Oh, that one. Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the I forgot that was actually an Amazon location. It's not a distribution center, from what I understand. Not like the one at State Fair and Woodward. Uh, wow. Okay. Fuck
There
them,
was
man.
video.
That's fucked
I
up.
guess there was video that I saw of it earlier.
Fuck ice. And I gotta from you want to see some a great statement. Bad Bunny won for album of the year. It's the first album of the year that was a completely Spanish spoken album. He and the statements he made when he accepted his award was really great. So for those of you guys who are interested, I highly recommend looking into it. I can't remember exactly everything he said, but uh, it was pretty cool. It was Darius. It was Alex Pretty's. Um, his death was deemed a homicide. I don't know if they're charging them with homicide, but it has been deemed a homicide, I guess. So, um,
Yeah, CD said no charges yet that we know of.
yeah. But
Hopefully they are.
yeah, I hope so too. So we'll see. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys. It's a little after 10, so we do need to get moving.
Yep.
We will be back. We're not gaming this Friday, correct?
Correct. We will be back. We will not be back the next Friday because this actually when no, we will be back
The
next Friday.
13th, yes.
You
the
will not be
13th,
there, but
I will not be able to
we
be
will
there.
be there.
Because I will be at opening night at the Dirty Show. But yeah, we will be. You will be.
Trust me,
Hey,
Darius,
Dutchy.
if it was, oh hey Dutch, that better
Haven't
late
seen
than
you
never.
for a while.
But yeah, Darius, if we can get it under control before the World Cup, that'd be great. But I don't know that it will be.
We don't. This country doesn't deserve to host the World Cup.
No, it doesn't. Nope. Fuck it.
No,
Take it
for
out of the
sure.
U.S., move it to Canada and Mexico, and leave it only there, not in the U.S.
Yeah, we don't deserve it. It's fucking. We're a dumpster fire at the moment.
Nope.
We're a dumpster
Yeah, we don't
fire
deserve
that is.
anything right now.
We are a dumpster fire that is catching the rest of the building on fire. We need
Yep.
to we need to get this shit under control.
When we're
Again,
threatening allies and shit like that, that needs to stop. Grandpa's keys need to be taken away.
Mm-hmm. Oh, did you hear about? He shot himself in a press conference, right?
Well, in the Oval Office, yeah.
In the Oval Office, he shit himself in the Oval Office.
Now there's no official word that he did, but
from
the audio,
from
I guess, says
from
that
the audio.
Yeah, a shark. Yeah.
Yep. The audio and then the reactions from the people behind him, like the woman in green that was standing right behind him, standing next to RFK, said something to the effect of, "Are we still doing this? I can't," or something like, "I can't do this anymore." She like moved her fingers up to her nose like this. It was like, and they exited. They removed people from that room really fucking fast. There were no questions taken. It was like, yep, he shit himself, and it's not the first time that this has happened.
Yeah.
So,
but anyway,
yeah.
So we should close things.
Yeah, we should close things up. This is like a Midwest goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Name
guys.
Of this episode will be. Was that a shark?
Is that a shark? Next, we
never
will be
trust
back.
a fart.
Particularly at his age. We will be back next Tuesday, as always, at 8:00. Be sure to swing in. And we won't be gaming this Friday, but you'll be back on Friday the 13th. I will not be. If you, for those of you guys who are interested, the Dirty Show opens on the 13th. It will be the opening weekend.
I'm interested, but I don't think I'm going this year.
I mean, it is one of those shows that I have a good time, and I think, and I do know some people that go every year, but it's not one of those things that people go necessarily do every year.
Renee and I went last year. We've got so much going on this year that I just don't think we're going to make it. It all depends. Oh, good one, Taliesin.
Nice,
that
Chris.
was a good one. Yeah.
Good one. It all depends. You son of but guys, thanks again. Remember, our hearts and minds go out to the families of Alex Pretty and Renee Nicole Good, and everybody that has been
there's a third one that nobody talks about too. that I
Yeah,
don't remember
but
his name.
the black gentleman. I can't
Yeah,
remember his name right now.
that's a
And
shame. We should know all of
We
them.
should. We should know all of them. But just I hibernate. Wish it was in the spring. Yeah, a lot of us do, Dutch. It's a chilly endeavor when when the dirty show there's a lot of naked, or at least semi-naked, and people are in an environment that's not the warmest, but they they get by. If they get by, it's all right. But again, thanks
Sorry,
for joining us, guys.
I'm gonna post this on Nerds. Renee sent me something. Said, "Damn it, Jenny, no one wants your number," and it's the temperatures. It was 8675309.
Oh my God! All right,
I'm gonna post that on our Discord.
6 7 6 7 6 7. Oh no!
All right, so we should get going.
We should get going. Let's get going. Let's get the fuck out of here. I got to make something to eat. It's 10 o'clock. Found her number on the bathroom.
Yeah.
Ciao. Good night, Dutch. Happy birthday.
Oh, the Dutch's birthday?
Dutch, it's coming up, I believe.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead. Come on. We're getting out of here.
Let's get out of here. Thanks again for joining us on this oh so cold Tuesday. And I don't know. That should about do it.
Yeah, remember you can follow us on most of the social medias. We are on Facebook, Nerds with Alcohol Show, and pretty much everywhere else, Drinking Nerds. Even on although I don't do enough on there, Untapped, if you're on that one. So just look us up, friend us, follow us. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family.
Smash that button.
Tell people on the street. I'm starting to look into some merch stuff for us. Some like as people want it type of thing, like a make to order type of thing for like shirts or something like that. If anybody wants anything like that. But yeah, so hopefully more to come on that in the next few weeks. But yeah, Russ and I should be back next week. No game this week. Driders for sale. Yeah, we can't technically use Driders. I think they might be copyrighted. So
that's probably a copyrighted one.
Yeah. Unless Russ wants to, get us a picture of one in, maybe 5 years. So, but anyway, we should, but yeah, hopefully we might have some stuff though in the next few weeks. We'll see. It may take me a little longer because I got a lot of stuff going on over the next month. But yeah, so no game this week. Russ and I'll be back next week. And then, yeah, so I think that's going to about do it.
That should do it.
So until next time. Slainte.
All
right. Have a good week, everybody.
Good night.